It's been a minute since the health crisis, huh? A life where we got stimulus checks, extra SNAP and EBT benefits, and extra heart conditions. Oh wait, that last one doesn't sound so good, does it? And it's not every day that we see big pharma companies like Pfizer being forced to discuss why their jabs are giving people myocarditis. But it's pretty insane to think that we haven't been provided a real clear explanation of this, huh?
As vaccinations increase in the under 18 population, a potentially new and rare adverse reaction. Medical teams are noticing some young men ending up with inflammation around the heart, causing chest pain and shortness of breath. Myocarditis is noted by the Canadian Pediatric Society as a possible side effect of mRNA vaccines. Canada's top doctor, Theresa Tam, last week said a few cases have been reported.
We currently do not see any higher rates than would be expected in the general population, but it is something that we need to continuously monitor.
An overview of 7 cases in healthy American males aged 14 to 19 appeared in the journal Pediatrics. The authors want increased awareness and monitoring. It says all cases in this report occurred after the second vaccine dose. Fortunately, none of our patients was critically ill, and each was discharged home.
Just for context, this video came out 2 years ago, so yeah, they've known about this for a little while now. This is also why I'm a little bit pumped, because Pfizer was confronted about this directly by Senator Garrick Rennick of Australia. Now I want you to watch this, like really observe how this unfolds, because I just can't make this stuff up, all right? It's mind-boggling how these people can just dance around simple questions. Like if I asked you, why are you hungry? You'd probably simply answer, well, I haven't had breakfast yet and it's past noon, right? That's a normal conversation. But these guys, oh man, they jump through hoops to explain a whole lot of nothing. It's like talking to air, literally.
How can Pfizer say that the vaccine was unequivocally safe without qualifying any risks around the vaccine?
Senator, I don't have that report in front of me, so I'm afraid I can't talk to that. What I can say is that the TGA is one of the world's leading regulators.
Okay. Well, you can take my word for it. I'm happy to table this document. Okay. So it clearly stated that a number of tests were not conducted. Okay. And given that those tests weren't conducted, and I accept it was a short time frame, I accept we had a short time frame, but that doesn't remove the risk that certain risks were not analysed, and you never highlighted those risks when the vaccine was rolled out.
Senator, I disagree with that statement. I think there was a very clear assessment of the benefit risk. The Therapeutic Goods Administration is a very thorough and very competent authority, perfectly able to reach a decision based on data which it reviews.
Okay.
So there you have it. They knew the risks, but with the TGA, they went through with it because they're just so gosh darn thorough, right? So thorough that it didn't matter that some tests weren't done. But here's the good part. When asked about the question, like I said, about the question why, well, they just kind of go into autopilot, avoiding obstacles as best they can. Now, speaking of why haven't you liked this video yet? There's still time. Don't worry. You can also subscribe to the channel so you get your updates hot and fresh every single day. All right, guys, so let's get back to the questions from Senator Rennick. So these guys from Pfizer could be great politicians with the way that they answer. Don't believe me? Well, you guys are in for a treat. And before this even starts, it's a little bit long, but bear with me, all right?
So initially when the vaccine was rolled out, myocarditis and pericarditis wasn't a recognised side effect. Does Pfizer understand why the vaccine causes myocarditis and pericarditis? And if not, how then can it guarantee that it's not also injuring other organs? And can you explain the process why the vaccine causes myocarditis and pericarditis?
I'll take that, Dr. Hewitt.
Sure.
Based on our clinical trials and pharmacovigilance data, as well as real-world evidence following the distribution now of billions of doses of vaccine, we retain confidence, strong confidence in the safety profile of the vaccine.
Sorry, Chair, point of order. I've asked, do you understand why it causes, I know that it's a low risk, I'm asking, do you understand why it causes myocarditis? I want you to explain to me why it causes myocarditis. Do you understand why it causes myocarditis?
Pfizer is aware of very rare reports of myocarditis and pericarditis that have been temporarily associated with vaccination.
Well, they're still ongoing for some people.
Senator Rennick, Dr. Through should answer the question. Thank you, Dr. Through.
According to public health experts and regulatory authorities around the globe, the number of reports of myocarditis remains small.
I'm not referring to the number of reports. I want you to explain to me the mechanism of how the vaccine causes myocarditis. Do you or do you not understand the mechanism of why the vaccine causes myocarditis? It looks to me like you don't. And if you don't understand it, why are you saying the vaccine is safe without qualifying the risks?
So Senator Rennick, I think Dr. Theroux is actually about to get to that point. Whether people agree, whether there's agreement to his evidence or not, is another question for others to make a judgment on. But if Dr. Theroux, if you could again go to Senator Rennick's question.
Senator, all medicines, all therapeutic products and vaccines have benefits and have side effects as well. Looking at the totality of the evidence for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, regulatory authorities, health authorities, experts globally, including in Australia within the Department of Health and the TGA, have maintained that the benefit-risk ratio...
That's not the question that I asked. I asked, can you explain why the vaccine causes myocarditis? Yes or no?
Senator, the benefit-risk
yes
profile...
or no? So you clearly don't understand the pathway, do you? Because you can't explain it. I'm not referring to the cost-benefit analysis here. I'm referring to, do you understand the biochemical pathway as to why the vaccine causes damage to the heart?
Senator, I'm happy to take your question on notice and come back to the committee with whatever information we can provide. I might just clarify, I was not referring to a cost-benefit analysis in my previous response. I was referring to the benefit-risk ratio, and health authorities around the globe continue to recommend the benefits.
And this isn't the question that I'm asking anyway.
I mean, how many times does he have to ask the question, right? I mean, seriously. I mean, it's like talking to a wall. Now, I told you guys they'd make for some pretty good politicians, right? And the worst part is they didn't even acknowledge that they couldn't even answer a simple question. They just kept droning on about other things. That, and it would have been better if they said, well, Senator, you know, there's a low risk of these things being caught through the vaccines, but we're looking into it. But no, none of that. I feel like, and this is just me, all right? I feel like big pharma and all these companies, they want to look past the side effects. They want to look past how many people were negatively affected because they're for sure not going to be paying for any lawsuits. That much is true. But wait, they have immunity anyway. That's the entire reason that they were able to fast track these things without proper testing. I guess they don't care much now since they've pretty much already made a fortune off of us. A flippin' fortune, guys. Now, I want to go ahead and close this out by saying this. Should people be held accountable? And I'm not just talking about big pharma here. I'm talking about everyone who was involved, including people that forced individuals to get jabbed. Should we have different opinions on these drugs? But they know for a fact that it caused heart problems. The least that they can do is be held liable for some blame at least. However, some of them will be able to hide under the blanket of immunity which they were given. So what are you guys' thoughts on all this? Make sure you share your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you made it this far in the video, drop a quick like, also subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.